The STERRAD NX sterilization system with ALLClear Technology is a general-purpose, low-temperature sterilizer that sterilizes medical devices by diffusing hydrogen peroxide vapor into the chamber and then electromagnetically exciting the hydrogen peroxide molecules into a low-temperature plasma state. The combined use of hydrogen peroxide vapor and plasma safely and rapidly sterilizes medical instruments and materials without leaving a toxic residue. All stages of the sterilization cycle operate within a dry environment at a low temperature, and thus the cycle is not damaging to compatible instruments that are sensitive to heat and moisture. In this video, we will provide an overview of the STERRAD NX with ALLClear system covering pre-cycle system diagnostics, available cycles, the STERRAD NX cassette, preparing a load for reprocessing, the ALLClear technology process, how to cancel a cycle, how to process a STERRAD CycleSure 24 biological indicator in standard and advanced cycles, the STERRAD Velocity biological indicator system, and some general utilities and maintenance. Prior to beginning the cycle, the STERRAD NX sterilizer with ALLClear will run an automatic pre-cycle system diagnostics and load conditioning phase. The load conditioning process minimizes the number of sterilization cycle cancellations by detecting system problems and correcting load issues. This process completes in about 5 minutes and occurs prior to the start of the selected sterilization cycle. If a load issue is detected, the sterilizer will attempt to correct it. If ALLClear technology cannot correct the issue, the selected sterilization cycle will not be started and a notification will be displayed on the screen. By utilizing the ALLClear technology, problems with a load can be detected prior to the hydrogen peroxide being injected. Let's review the available cycles and what can be reprocessed in the STERRAD NX sterilizer with ALLClear. The available cycles are standard and advanced. The standard cycle is 28 minutes and should be selected for single-channel stainless steel lumens with an inside diameter of 1 mm or larger and a length of 150 mm or shorter, and single-channel stainless steel lumens with an inside diameter of 2 mm or larger and a length of 400 mm or shorter. Typical devices would include arthroscopy instrument sets, eye instrument, laparoscopic instrument sets, cardiovascular instrument, orthopedic drills and saws, cystoscopy instrument, reusable batteries, cameras, and light cords. The advanced cycle is 38 minutes and should be selected for single-channel stainless steel lumens with an inside diameter of 1 mm or larger and a length of 500 mm or shorter, and single-channel PE/PTFE flexible endoscopes with an inside diameter of 1 mm or larger and a length of 850 mm or shorter. Only one flexible endoscope may be sterilized per cycle with or without a silicone mat, and no additional load items may be included in that cycle. Typical single-channel flexible endoscopes would include bronchoscopes, cystoscopes, flexible ureteroscopes, choledocoscopes, and laryngoscopes. Let's discuss the Sterilant cassette that is used in the STERRAD NX sterilizer with ALLClear. The cassette contains 10 sealed capsules of 58% hydrogen peroxide solution. There are 2 cassettes per case. Each cassette is valid for up to 5 cycles or 10 days. The use of the cassette in the STERRAD NX sterilizer is controlled by a printed barcode. The barcode limits the use of a cassette to the appropriate sterilizer and ensures cassettes are not used beyond their 12-month shelf life. A serial number on the barcode uniquely identifies each cassette. The STERRAD NX sterilizer will compare and store the barcode information to a database when a new cassette is inserted into the sterilizer. The sterilizer will reject the cassette if the database already contains a barcode with the same information. If a new cassette is required, if the cassette in the sterilizer is expired, or if there is no cassette installed in the sterilizer, the following steps should be followed to insert a new cassette. First, take a new STERRAD NX cassette out of the shipping carton. As a precaution, when handling any part of the system or load items that have been exposed to hydrogen peroxide, please wear the appropriate PPE, specifically chemical-resistant latex, PVC vinyl, or nitrile gloves. Refer to the glove manufacturer's instructions for use for more information. Next, look at the package carefully before opening it. Check the expiration date before using a cassette. Do not use an expired cassette. If you see droplets of moisture, do not open the package. It is possible that hydrogen peroxide has leaked inside the package. Refer to the cassette Instructions for Use for proper handling instructions. Finally, insert the cassette into the cassette slot, making sure the barcode faces the display. The message indicates this side up, and the directional arrow points toward the sterilizer. Insert the cassette into the cassette slot until the system detects and pulls the cassette in. Do not use excessive force to insert the cassette. When a cassette is empty, the sterilizer automatically moves it to the cassette disposal box in the collection drawer. When the cassette disposal box contains 3 cassettes, it is full, and you must dispose of the full cassette disposal box. The screen displays a message instructing you which actions to take next. For safety reasons, you must use the cassette disposal box to dispose of cassettes. Never reuse a cassette disposal box. Wearing gloves. Once a cassette disposal box has been removed from the drawer, a new cassette disposal box must be assembled and inserted in the drawer. Let's talk about preparing a load for reprocessing in the STERRAD NX with ALLClear. Prior to reprocessing, all individual devices should be cleaned, rinsed, and thoroughly dried according to the manufacturer's instructions for use. Check the manufacturer's instructions for use or the STERRAD sterility guide to determine which cycle the device has been validated for. Only STERRAD instrument accessories and Aptimax instrument trays are recommended for use in the STERRAD NX sterilizer with ALLClear Technology. These instrument trays are specially designed to allow diffusion of hydrogen peroxide and plasma around every item in the load. STERRAD instrument tray mats and holder are available to pad the Aptimax instrument trays. Never use linen, foam pads, or cellulose as they may absorb the hydrogen peroxide and cause the cycle to cancel. Use only STERRAD sterilizer-compatible polypropylene sterilization wrap and Tyvek pouches. Tyvek pouches and rolls with STERRAD chemical indicators are the only pouches and rolls available on the market that are validated by ASP. If you are using rigid containers cleared by the FDA for use in the STERRAD NX sterilizer, follow the instructions for use provided by the manufacturer. Verify that the rigid containers are cleared for use in each sterilization cycle. STERRAD chemical indicator strips and STERRAD SealSure chemical indicator tape offer a method to verify that the load has been exposed to hydrogen peroxide in the sterilizer. Chemical indicators are not a substitute for biological indicators. Place a STERRAD SealSure chemical indicator strip inside the tray, container, or pouch. Notice that the lot number and expiration date are not printed on each individual STERRAD chemical indicator strip. Secure all wrap trays with STERRAD SealSure chemical indicator tape. The expiration for the indicator tape is located on the inside of the roll. The STERRAD chemical indicator strips and STERRAD SealSure chemical indicator tape change from red to yellow when exposed to hydrogen peroxide. Yellow indicates processed and red indicates unprocessed. Be sure to store the STERRAD SealSure chemical indicator strip indicator box and STERRAD SealSure chemical indicator tape away from heat and light. Detailed information on loading and packaging can be found in your user's guide, but the following are some basic guidelines. Arrange items within a tray to ensure proper diffusion of H2O2 throughout the load. Do not stack instruments within trays or containers. Place Tyvek pouches on edge, if possible, and arrange them so that the transparent mylar side of the pouch faces the opaque Tyvek side of the next pouch. Do not stack pouches and do not stack trays in the chamber. Do not place trays within trays or place wrapped instruments within wrapped trays. You can obtain additional cycle information by pressing the information icon at the bottom of the cycle on your STERRAD NX sterilizer with ALLClear Ready screen. The screen will display information about the cycle and a list of items that can be sterilized in the selected cycle. When placing the load on the shelves, do not block the ultraviolet lamp beam in the front side of the chamber. Ensure the load is centered on the shelves and that the shelves are centered in the chamber. Do not allow metal objects to come into contact with the walls of the chamber, the door, or the electrode. Contact with the walls, door, or electrode can cause a cycle cancellation and/or damage the item or the sterilizer. Leave at least 1 inch or 25 millimeters of free space between the load and the electrode. When finished loading the chamber, close the door tightly. If the message "Please close door" is displayed, the door is not securely closed. Make certain that nothing is caught in the door seal. As a reminder, after selecting a cycle, the system will instruct the operator to load the chamber. The screen will show instructions on how to load the chamber per the selected cycle. Select the desired cycle and press Start. The ALLClear Technology process begins and is displayed on the monitor. This is a load conditioning process that minimizes the number of sterilization cycle cancellations by detecting system problems and correcting load issues. Once the ALLClear Technology process completes successfully, the sterilizer starts a countdown clock and begins the sterilization. When the cycle is complete, the green cycle completed screen is displayed, indicating a successfully completed cycle. In addition, the STERRAD NX sterilizer with ALLClear loudspeaker emits one long beep. A series of 10 short beeps indicates a canceled cycle. Ensure that the chemical indicators on or in the sterilized packages exhibit the correct color change and that the cycle printout shows that all parameters were met. Additionally, the system screen will display the cycle status as process complete. The load is now ready for immediate use, following your hospital or healthcare facility's policy. If the chemical indicators do not exhibit the correct color change, investigate the cause and repackage the devices and reprocess. There may be occasions when it is necessary to cancel a cycle before it is completed. To cancel a cycle, simply touch the Cancel Cycle button. The screen will display a confirmation message. Because hydrogen peroxide may be present, always wear chemical-resistant latex, PVC vinyl, or nitrile gloves when removing items from the sterilizer following a canceled cycle. Loads from canceled cycles should be rewrapped using new packaging materials, STERRAD chemical indicator strips, and STERRAD SealSure chemical indicator tape. If a biological indicator, or BI, was used in the canceled load, the previously used BI must be disposed per your hospital or healthcare facility's policy, and a new BI must be placed in the chamber before restarting. Let's review how to process a STERRAD SycleSure 24 biological indicator. BIs are intended to be used as a standard method for frequent monitoring of your sterilizer. To maintain the highest patient safety, ASP recommends monitoring each sterilization cycle with a biological indicator. Follow your hospital or healthcare facility's policies and procedures, national standards, and professional association recommendations for monitoring frequency of sterilization equipment. Here are the steps needed to process a STERRAD SycleSure 24 biological indicator in the standard and advanced cycles of the STERRAD NX with ALLClear sterilizer. Step 1. Assure the BI is at room temperature before use and the growth medium color of the BI is purple prior to use in sterilizer. Step 2. Label the unprocessed BI vial with a marker, writing the load number and date in the designated area. Step 3. Place the BI in a Tyvek pouch and place the pouch on the lowest shelf close to the rear of the sterilizer as indicated on the sterilizer screen. Step 4. Place the load in the sterilizer. Initiate the desired sterilization cycle and wait for the process to finish. Step 5. Once the cycle is complete, put on protective gloves and remove the Tyvek pouch from the sterilizer. Remove the STERRAD CycleSure 24 biological indicator from the pouch. Review the instructions for use to ensure its proper use. To confirm sterilizing conditions were achieved during a cycle, compare the processed STERRAD CycleSure 24 vial with the positive control vial. The absence of a color change and turbidity in the processed vial indicates that the sterilization conditions were achieved. An example of this would be the media remaining purple as compared directly to a negative control. If the processed BI changes color from purple to yellow, as in the positive control vial, and/or it exhibits turbidity, this indicates that conditions necessary to achieve sterilization in the STERRAD sterilizer have not been met. In addition to the BI, inspect the chemical indicator response for the correct color change and verify the cycle completion report shows cycle status passed and process complete. Use of the STERRAD CycleSure 24 biological indicator in a test pack configuration for periodic testing confirms that a sterility assurance level of 10 to the -6 has been achieved during the cycle. Note that full instructions for use are provided in the test pack. If you are using the STERRAD Velocity Biological Indicator System, the following steps should be followed. Step 1. Prepare the BI as specified in the instructions for use. Step 2. After selecting the desired cycle, follow the on-screen instructions to scan the barcode with the sterilizer scanner. Step 3. Place the STERRAD Velocity BI as specified in the instructions for use. Step 4. Start the cycle and wait for the process to complete. Step 5. Once the cycle completes, put on protective gloves and remove the BI from the chamber. The BI must be placed in the STERRAD Velocity reader within the time frame specified in the instructions for use. The system will ask the user to contact an ASP representative if the reader detects 2 out of 3 test biological indicators are positive. You will continue to receive this warning after each sterilization cycle completion until 2 consecutive STERRAD Velocity test BIs are negative. For detailed information on interpretation of results, please review the instructions for use included with a biological indicator and the STERRAD Velocity Reader User's Guide. If your STERRAD system is integrated with the STERRAD Velocity Reader, the user will not be notified of negative test biological indicators. The sterilizer will be alerted when the STERRAD Velocity Reader detects a positive test biological indicator. Follow the current hospital or healthcare facility's policies and procedures regarding quarantine or retrieval and reprocessing of potentially non-sterile instruments and notification of the physicians. Note that if the STERRAD Velocity Reader detects a positive test biological indicator when the sterilization cycle is running, the notification screen will only appear after the completion of the sterilization cycle. All known potential loads since the last negative test biological indicator result are listed on your screen. Touch the Confirm button on the screen to acknowledge the test BI used in the load has a positive result. Let's review some general utility and maintenance components. The STERRAD NX with ALLClear should always remain on, but if you need to turn it off, the main power switch is located under the printer. When it is not in use, the system will automatically go into sleep mode. If it is in sleep mode, just tap the screen and the colored display appears. If login is required, the login screen is displayed. When this occurs, enter your operator identification, password, and touch the Done button. Let's go over how to change the printer paper. The printer is located on the front panel and prints cycle reports on a roll of thermal paper. When the printer paper roll is empty, the sterilizer displays a message, "Printer is out of paper. Please load a new roll." Open the printer by pressing the top button. The printer door drops forward. The empty paper roll rests on the bottom of the printer door. Remove the empty roll and drop in the new roll of paper. The paper should feed from the top of the roll. Pull a short length of paper over the top of the printer door and align it so it fits between the two paper guides on the top of the printer door. Then close the door. The bottom button advances the paper. Let's talk about maintenance. The hydrogen peroxide monitor lens is located inside the opening and must be kept clean. Clean the lens once every 3 months or when an accumulation of debris is present. Be advised that the hydrogen peroxide monitor uses an ultraviolet light source located inside the chamber behind the door. To avoid eye injury, do not stare directly at the ultraviolet light source for an extended period of time. To clean the lens, first put on chemical-resistant latex, PVC vinyl, or nitrile gloves. Then moisten a lint-free cloth with isopropyl alcohol and wipe the lens to remove any accumulated debris. Never use an abrasive cleanser. Regularly scheduled or planned maintenance must be performed at the intervals specified on the system. Call the ASP Help Desk in a timely manner when the message is received to schedule maintenance. The system contains information for the service engineer regarding the type of planned maintenance to be performed. Let's look at what's in the utility screen. Cycle history files contain very detailed information about each sterilization cycle. The files include identifying information about the operator, load, time, date, cycle duration information, stage-by-stage data from the sensors and controls, and related technical items. Information is extracted from the cycle history file to produce the short format report, medium format report, and the long format report. The cycle history file contains information that is vital to a healthcare facility's record-keeping and traceability procedures. The sterilizer's memory holds data from the last 50 cycles. This concludes our overview of the STERRAD NX sterilization system with ALLClear. For complete equipment information, warnings, and instructions, please read and follow the user guide before use.